Hello Dub Nation, it's always a thrill to connect with you, especially as we're about to reveal the latest news that could shape the fate of our beloved Golden State Warriors. But before we dive into this whirlwind of information, let me make a friendly request. Show us some love by clicking the like button to strengthen our bond, and hey, if you are not subscribed yet, join our channel for a thrilling and emotional journey. Don't forget to turn on notifications to stay ahead of the game.
Brian Windhorst on what the Warriors must face. Winning without Steph won't be easy, and Game 2 proved it. NBA insider Brian Windhorst didn't hold back when discussing the harsh reality facing the Golden State Warriors. If they want to stay relevant, let alone win, in a future without Stephen Curry, something has to change, and fast. Following a disappointing loss in Game 2, Windhorst highlighted what many have started to fear. The Warriors, as currently constructed, simply don't have what it takes to thrive without their superstar at the center of everything. This was more than just a loss, Windhorst explained. It was a reminder. A reminder that Golden State hasn't yet found a real identity or winning formula when Steph isn't the one carrying the load. That's not just concerning, that's foundational. For years, Curry has been the heartbeat of the franchise, masking flaws with his generational shooting, off-ball movement, and leadership. But with the core aging and the supporting cast struggling to step up consistently, Game 2 felt like a wake-up call. The Warriors tried to prove they could win differently, Windhorst continued, but instead, they proved how much they still rely on the same formula, Steph creating magic and everyone else feeding off of it. The bigger question now, what's next? If the Warriors want to remain contenders in the post-Curry era, or even just give Steph the help he deserves in the present, they need to rethink their strategy, their roster, and maybe even their philosophy. Game 2 wasn't just a bad night, it was a message. And if Golden State doesn't listen, the days of dominance may be over sooner than expected. The clock is ticking for Golden State's front office. With their Game 2 loss exposing glaring weaknesses, the pressure is mounting on the Warriors' front office to act decisively. General Manager Mike Dunleavy Jr. and head coach Steve Kerr now face tough questions. Can this roster still contend? And if not, how fast can it be reshaped? Golden State's attempts to blend two timelines, developing young talent like Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody while chasing another title with veterans like Draymond Green and Klay Thompson, are proving more complicated than hoped. The inconsistency is no longer just frustrating, it's starting to feel unsustainable. Klay's future in doubt. Klay Thompson, once one half of the league's most feared backcourt, has struggled to regain his rhythm consistently. With free agency looming and his contract expiring, there's growing speculation that Game 2 might not just have been a bad performance, it could be a sign of an era winding down. League insiders report that the Warriors are hesitant to offer Thompson a long-term deal unless it's team-friendly. While Klay's legacy in the Bay Area is unquestioned, the team's focus now has to be forward-looking, and that may require difficult, even emotional decisions. The Steph dependency problem. At the heart of the issue is what analysts are now calling Steph dependency. Golden State has failed to develop a consistent offensive identity that doesn't rely on Curry's gravitational pull. When he's off the floor, or simply human, the Warriors' offense often stalls, the ball movement slows, and the confidence fades. You can't expect a 36-year-old to be your system forever, Windhorst said in a segment on NBA Today. At some point, the franchise has to evolve, or risk wasting what's left of his greatness. Draymond's role, leadership still valuable, but is it enough? Draymond Green remains the emotional engine of the team and a defensive savant, but his impact is increasingly situational. His fiery leadership can inspire, but it can also combust, as seen in past suspensions and technicals at critical moments. The Warriors need Draymond, but they also need more than what their aging core can now consistently deliver. Fans and media begin asking the hard questions. The Warriors' fanbase, long spoiled by a decade of dominance, is now split. Some believe the team owes it to the core to ride it out for one last run. Others argue that loyalty shouldn't outweigh logic, and that it's time to retool around younger, more dynamic pieces. National media outlets are also beginning to question the team's long-term vision. Headlines from The Ringer, Bleacher Report, and The Athletic all echoed a similar sentiment after Game 2. Something has to give. A summer of change ahead? Whether it's through trades, free agency, or internal development, one thing is clear: this offseason will be a defining one for the Golden State Warriors. Curry still has greatness left in him, but he can't carry the weight alone anymore. If the franchise hopes to remain relevant in a stacked Western Conference, the front office needs to face reality and make bold, potentially uncomfortable decisions. Because as Game 2 showed, wishing for the past won't win games in the present. Warriors' relentless defense secures Game 1 victory, but can it hold without Steph Curry? What should have been a statement win for Golden State turned into a night of uncertainty. The Warriors opened their Western Conference semifinal series with a hard-fought 99-88 win over the Timberwolves, but lost their heartbeat in the process. Steph Curry exited in the second quarter with what was later diagnosed as a left groin strain. He didn't return, and now the question looms: can the Warriors keep this going without him? Game 1 was a showcase of grit and defensive identity, two things that have become the hallmark of this Golden State team, especially since the arrival of Jimmy Butler. Even without Curry orchestrating the offense, the Warriors managed to suffocate Minnesota's attack, relying on a game plan anchored in discipline, rotations, and a little help from the basketball gods as the Timberwolves missed several open looks. It's no fluke, this defense has been elite. Since Butler's arrival, the Warriors posted the best defensive rating in the league during his 31 regular season appearances, allowing just 109.9 points per 100 possessions, according to Cleaning the Glass. Butler's defensive versatility has injected a new edge into the team's DNA. He fights through screens, disrupts passing lanes, and brings a collective toughness that's contagious. That pride in stopping teams was on full display in Game 1, even after Curry was ruled out. The Warriors held the Timberwolves to just 82.2 points per 100 half-court possessions and limited their transition chances to a mere 11.7% of possessions. Every defensive rotation had purpose, and every switch was deliberate, even if the offense, without Curry, struggled to find rhythm. Golden State's own half-court attack ranked in the 16th percentile, scoring just 83.5 points per 100 possessions, far from pretty. But it was just enough. With Butler and Buddy Hield stepping up late, and the defense holding firm, the Warriors pulled through. At the center of it all, Draymond Green, doing what he's done for a decade, anchoring a defense with unmatched IQ, instincts, and leadership. His matchup with Anthony Edwards, one of the league's most explosive young stars, will be a battle to watch all series. Early in Game 1, the Warriors focused on forcing Edwards to be a passer rather than letting him get downhill. When he did manage to attack the rim, Green was there, walling off space and altering shots. It was textbook Draymond: read, rotate, contest, recover. But how long can they sustain this? As the Timberwolves adjust, Golden State will be tested. They know the Warriors' scheme now. They've seen how Green drops back, how Butler tags rollers, how Podziemski, Kuminga, and Hield handle switches. And they'll adapt. They already started to by the end of Game 1. Jaden McDaniels began attacking closeouts, Naz Reid got clean looks from the top of the arc, and Edwards started manipulating screens to draw Green out of his comfort zone. The Timberwolves are actively working to drag Green out of his preferred help positions, involving him directly in pick and rolls and spacing the floor with shooters who can punish late rotations. It's a smart counter. Remove Green from the back line, and suddenly Golden State's safety net gets a little thinner. That's where coaching adjustments come in. Steve Kerr and his staff may need to get creative, toggling between drop coverage, zone, and switches, sometimes all in the same possession. It's a chess match, and every move now carries higher stakes with Curry's return timeline still uncertain. Can Golden State defend like this consistently without Steph's offensive gravity giving them room to breathe? Can Butler and Hield shoulder enough of the scoring load while young players are thrust into bigger roles? The Warriors will need everything: smart rotations, timely shooting, and maybe even a bit of luck, to survive the next few games. But if there's one thing this group has proven, it's that they believe in the fight. They've built a defensive foundation strong enough to bend without breaking. And if they can buy time, if they can hold on until Curry returns, then this series, and their championship hopes, are far from over. In a remarkable Game 1 victory, the Golden State Warriors overcame the Minnesota Timberwolves 99-88, despite losing their star player, Stephen Curry, to a left hamstring strain in the second quarter. Curry had contributed 13 points in just 13 minutes before exiting the game. His absence raised concerns, but the team rallied together, showcasing a collective effort that extended their playoff road success to 23 Game 1 victories since 2015. Buddy Hield stepped up significantly, leading the team with 24 points, including 5 three-pointers. Jimmy Butler nearly achieved a triple-double, recording 20 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists, while Draymond Green added 18 points and marked his 1,000th career playoff assist. The Warriors' defense was particularly impressive, holding the Timberwolves to 39.5% shooting and just 5 for 29 from beyond the arc. Despite the victory, the team faces uncertainty regarding Curry's availability for the upcoming games. Head coach Steve Kerr stated that Curry would be considered day-to-day and would undergo an MRI to determine the extent of the injury. The Warriors are preparing as if Curry will not be available for Game 2, scheduled for Thursday in Minneapolis. The Warriors' ability to secure a win without Curry highlights their depth and resilience. However, sustaining this level of performance without their star player will be challenging. The team will need continued strong contributions from Hield, Butler, Green, and others to maintain their competitive edge in the series. As the series progresses, all eyes will be on Curry's recovery and the Warriors' ability to adapt to his potential absence. The outcome of Game 2 could be pivotal in determining the trajectory of the series.